weekly that keep NBA fans coming back for more.
Basically, if you love basketball and you like to laugh, listen to Miles and Jack Got Mad Boosties, an NBA podcast on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
There are so many words to describe Panera's new Chef's Chicken Sandwiches. The chicken, juicy, succulent, seared. The brioche roll, buttery and toasty. The Parmesan crisps, crunchy, tangy. The secret aioli, creamy and rich. All those words, but when you have a bite, you might just be left speechless. Panera's new Chef's Chicken Sandwiches. Enjoy $1 delivery fee when you order on our app. Restrictions apply. For details, visit panerabread.com/delivery info.
Hey folks, DG here, asking you to give yourself the gift of Asheville smiles here in 2022. Studies have linked untreated gum disease to heart disease, erectile dysfunction, systemic diseases, premature birth, joint issues, and much more. Everything is connected. And seeing a dentist every 6 months is important for your overall health. For top-notch dental care from Dr. Rebecca Merrill here in Asheville, call 828-251-2426 or AshevilleSmiles.com.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. So you have to drive 300 miles to your cousin's wedding. Okay, so it's his fourth. But you know what they say, fourth time's the charm. Well, here's the problem. Your tires are as bald as I am. But lucky for you, eBay Motors has tires for just about every make and model. Plus wheels, lug nuts, jack stands, and more. 122 million parts. Do they have tissues? Oh, good, because I'm definitely a crier. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
Hey guys, there is some important news that all men should take very seriously. Your prostate health. Are you urinating more frequently? Are you waking up at night to urinate? Are you sick and tired of prostate pills that just don't work? Sound familiar? If you are one of the millions of men with prostate problems that are driving you nuts, there is some great news. Prostagenics is the all-natural product that beat over 157 other prostate supplements in lab tests and was rated the #1 most powerful prostate supplement in the world. #1, because it works. So why not try some Prostagenics, and your prostate troubles will be a thing of the past. You'll get a great night's sleep and stop waking up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. To get your free bottle of Prostagenics, call now, 800-600-2020. That's 1-800-600-2020. Take advantage of our 90-day money-back guarantee. Call 800-600-2020. Do it now.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
I'm Doug Brown. ESPN's Jeremy Fowler reports the Seahawks are finalizing a one-year contract extension for quarterback Geno Smith worth up to $7 million. He's been a backup for Seattle for the last 2 years. The last two spots for the first round of the NBA playoffs will be settled tomorrow night. Both games on ESPN Radio. The Cavaliers host the Hawks, then the Clippers host the Pelicans. Even though he hasn't played this season, ESPN's Brian Windhorst believes the Pels should hold on to Zion Williamson.
Look, I know that Zion and the relationship with the team has gone ice cold and red hot at times. I would absolutely not move on from that guy. He's a guy who averaged 27 points and 61% shooting last year. That is Shaquille O'Neal level type stuff.
Brian Windhorst on KJ and Max. Ukraine will play its rescheduled World Cup playoff against Scotland on June 1st. The winner of that match plays Wales 4 days later for a spot in World Cup Group B with Team USA, England, and Iran.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
We don't know that conversation Baker Mayfield had with whoever he had it with in the front office, but he feels disrespected. And if that's the case, I'm rolling with Baker.
It's Friday with KJ and Max. It all starts at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio.
In the heart of Beer City, USA, two men, one journey to create a sports show unlike any other. Unfiltered, raw, and honest. One of them played a soccer goalie opposite Ben Stiller. The other once scored 6 points on Steph Curry. These guys know their shit. Let's go! Tank Spencer, Jeremy Greene, the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy here in the Ingles Studio on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Greene, and it is a filled, jam-packed Thursday afternoon here in on ESPN Asheville, as we will be not only discussing, unfortunately, another crushing end to an NBA season for our Charlotte Hornets, but also, we got NFL news going around. Sammy Watkins now going to join Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay.
Green Bay actually looked at Sammy Watkins and went, yeah, that can help. That'll be good. Let's do that. That'll be fun.
And then the Seattle Seahawks are bringing back Geno Smith.
The Seattle Seahawks actually looked at Geno Smith and went, yeah, let's do that. That'll be fun.
And, hey, let's give him an opportunity to make up to $7 million for this season.
Yeah, but I have a feeling
he'll never hit.
I was about to say, I have a feeling when you look at this contract, those benchmarks are going to be, if he learns to fly, if he turns into Batman.
Speaking of interesting contracts, Derek Carr signed an extension with the Las Vegas Raiders, and it's a very team-friendly deal. We'll get into that, as well as talk some baseball today. Holy cow, I'm actually going to get Jeremy to talk about baseball.
Only for a minute, and it ain't going to be nice.
Old Clayton Kershaw and the Los Angeles Dodgers situation. It's all about the unwritten rules. These are the unwritten rules, and you don't go against the unwritten rules.
And we have
baseball.
two of those stories.
Oh, we do.
We actually have two baseball stories in one day.
We do.
And none of it's going to be nice coming from this side of the table.
And also, Demp Bradford, the president of the Asheville-Buncombe Regional Sports Commission, will be joining us in the latter part of this hour as we get ready for the Billie Jean King Cup, the qualifying match between the U.S. and the Ukraine, starting tomorrow at the Harrah Cherokee Center, Asheville. If you want to get tickets for it, highly recommend it if you're a tennis fan. It's going to be a fun atmosphere there. You can get those tickets at usta.com/BJKC. Let's kick it off here. Oh, wait, I almost forgot. We are not only heard on the iHeartRadio app, but we are also seen on the YouTube channel, and that's important because today is the big day, folks. Today is the day we crown a champion. We crown the most overrated band in music history. We have our final matchup between U2 and Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band. So cast your votes in the chat. All you got to do is go to thesportsocracy.com, click on the live video link. Be sure when you get to YouTube, you also will hit that subscribe button. That'll get you into the chat, allow you to cast your ballot for U2 or Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band as the most overrated of all time. The NBA season is over for a lot of North Carolina fans as the Charlotte Hornets are out of it. I mean,
and they didn't just get beat; they got shellacked.
They did. The I-85 rivalry. It had all the twists and turns yesterday, but no defense from the Charlotte Hornets as they got beat by the Atlanta Hawks, and now start the preparations for what's to come next for this team.
And unfortunately for them, one of their best players just made the offseason very uncomfortable. Miles Bridges last night called for goaltending, apparently said some of those things that, I used to say a lot. And he got run.
Yep.
Well, when he got run, first of all, stop being jerks as fans. If you're doing the chicken dance at a guy as he's leaving, you're a jerk. Just period. But as that's happening, Miles Bridges takes a swipe at him, and this could not have come at a worse time for the Hornets or for Miles Bridges.
Took a swipe at him?
With his towel.
I was going to say,
he threw
his
waved
mouthpiece.
He waved a towel at him, basically.
Right.
But you still can't do that.
Well, of course you can't, but it's not like he was throwing haymakers at the guy. He
didn't go full-on Ron Artest.
Right.
I'm well aware of that, but that's not the problem. The problem is that he's going into restricted free agency. Mm-hmm. It also just came out that he fully expects to be a max player.
Mm-hmm.
And the bad thing for Charlotte, you have to do it.
Of course you do.
You don't have a choice.
Right. You were touted. ESPN had how many highlight reels on their website and on the app yesterday leading up to the ultimate game of the season for the Charlotte Hornets, talking about how this is Lob City 2.0 with Miles Bridges and, of course, LaMelo Ball. And I don't think you can disagree with that. These two guys, I believe, are the foundation of a perennial playoff team in the East. Am I wrong?
I'm not going to agree with you.
Really?
Oh, no, you need a lot around this because they can't play dead in the Western defensively.
I mean, this
is as bad as you'll ever see a team be defensively in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot more fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's more appetizing to watch.
Mm-hmm.
It's not good, and it's not going to win you anything.
Well, I mean, you got 43 wins out of it this year, and normally that would put you in the 6 seed range. Unfortunately, the East was very competitive this year, and
it's going to continue to be.
Even winning 43 games, you ended up as the 10 seed. I mean, we all know the deficiencies of this team when it comes to the defensive side of the ball.
Well, you need a rim protector badly.
That's got to be key number one.
I'll call a couple options. If their last name is Plumlee, don't do it.
Stay away.
No.
Thankfully, we don't have any more of those.
But the reason that I wanted to open with this is this makes something make a lot more sense.
Okay.
This makes the Russell Westbrook thing make way more sense. I had not thought of it this way until I was, I'm like a horse. You can lead me to water, but you can't necessarily make me understand it. Charlotte's got a decision to make because you cannot bring this team back the way it's currently constituted.
No.
And I believe that the way this would go, that Gordon Hayward contract is rather unpalatable. That's what you had to do. You're Charlotte.
Yeah,
you got a free agent that wanted to come here. Tremendous.
Yeah, he's got 2 years left on that deal, and I think it's like $61 million, something like that.
And here's where the tea leaves are coming from. Charlotte could be looking at this going, you know what? There is no shot that we're going to be good defensively because we are committed to LaMelo Ball, and we are committed to Miles Bridges.
Mm-hmm.
When Gordon Hayward's one of the better defensive players on your team, that's a bad sign. But where this is coming from is you're going to have to make a decision, and you would honestly probably have to include Kelly Oubre to get the Lakers to eat Gordon Hayward.
Mm-hmm.
That's where that's coming from. To stay out of the tax, to stay away from all of the unpalatable financial things. And I cannot say this emphatically enough. Please do anything else. I don't care what it is. I don't care if you have to trade for John Wall. I don't care. Do anything but chase Russell Westbrook.
I have to ask the question, why are we talking about this? When everybody knows that the number one thing you need to do is beef up your defense. Why
the problem is
Russell
that your
Westbrook...
assets are not palatable. All right, be really honest with yourself. What team is looking at Gordon Hayward going, yes, we cannot wait to do that?
Oh, none.
There you go. You have a problem. Yours is a financial problem as much as it is an on-the-court problem.
Mm-hmm.
The Lakers have an on-the-court problem. It may be your only solution. It may be the only thing you can do, short of just biting the bullet and going, you know what, we'll take another stab at it.
I can't see the purpose of that. I would rather go through with trying to bring in anybody that can be a defensive piece down low, because that's the one thing that they're missing. I mean, I know you need a wing defender as well, which you don't have right now.
You need a wing defender. You have a weird combination of backcourt players because you got two guys that are just so bad defensively.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like Terry Rozier. I don't $30 million like Terry Rozier.
Well, I don't either, but you already made that deal. That's already been done.
And I could argue it's the more palatable deal that you could actually unload.
I don't understand the Russell Westbrook rumors.
Well, there's so much heat to it that it's coming from somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
It is 100% coming from somewhere. And I cannot advise you adamantly enough. Don't do that.
I would agree with you. And you know what it sounds like to me? It sounds like the perfect Mitch Kupchak deal.
Oh.
And let's just hope that nothing comes to fruition before maybe Mitch Kupchak's out the door. His contract expires. There's been a lot of talk about him stepping away. He's 67 years old. So there's been a lot of talk that Mitch may not be around much longer, which could give you a little pause of oh God, what comes next? Do we really want to see Buzz Peterson take over this job, who has been...
Could he... and look, Kupchak has done a reasonably decent job of acquiring talent.
Mm-hmm.
You got to remember,
draft, yeah.
We really liked what they did in the draft, in spite of the fact that you really didn't see either of those players at all this year, whether it's James Bucknight or Kai Jones.
Yeah, Bucknight played the fewest minutes of anybody taken in the lottery last year.
Which is still just staggering to me. The thing that makes me nervous is I feel it's exactly what you opened this with. This is the makings of a year-in, year-out playoff team.
Mm-hmm.
Be real honest with yourself. Who are they going to be better than in the next 5 years? The Miami Heat.
No.
Boston Celtics.
No.
Milwaukee Bucks.
No.
Philadelphia 76ers.
No.
Toronto Raptors.
No.
Chicago Bulls.
No.
Brooklyn Nets.
No.
Atlanta Hawks. No. Don't do that. Don't do that.
It's closer than you think.
It's not. It's not even vaguely close. Cleveland Cavaliers.
Probably not.
There you go. That puts you at 10. That's the 9 other teams that made this, either made the playoffs or made this stupid play-in tournament.
But if they added a couple of pieces, would that not put them?
But that's the problem. You're
closer?
completely capped out with Miles Bridges. When you go max contract, it's $173 million over 4 years.
Yeah.
Or 5 years. It might be 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
You're capped out. There's nothing you can do. And my fear is that they're going to look at that and go, well, what we could do is we could Gordon Hayward, and now we fix the cap problems, and we get out from Russell Westbrook in a year. And he'll sell tickets.
Yeah, but
please don't do that.
But what will happen to this team over the next year with Russell Westbrook in town? That's my fear.
I'm going to say the same thing that I said about Russ with LaMelo Ball, that I said about Russ with LeBron James. Unless you're going to play a new brand of basketball where they give you 2 of them, I don't get this at all. And I know this sounds ludicrous. It is staggering how many people around the NBA are convinced this is how this ends. That Charlotte is so desperate to have a star, a legitimate sell tickets, name on the marquee star, that this is what they do.
You have one. You have one in LaMelo Ball.
No, you don't.
Mm-hmm.
But see, you're losing. You're being too smart here.
Thank you. That's the first time I've ever been told that.
I don't doubt that. You're confusing what on the court looks like versus palatable to TV audiences and things like that. That's what they're talking about.
I mean, I get that, but I don't think the Hornets have had this much buzz, pardon the pun there, around a team since the days of Muggsy Bogues and Dale Curry and Larry Johnson and Alonzo Mourning, all of those guys. This is the best.
And I agree with that, but it doesn't sell outside of the market. This does not sell nationally.
But is that the goal? I mean, do you have to?
Should it be, or is it? Because those are 2 completely different questions.
Okay, should it be? Yes, everybody wants to be a major brand.
The should it be is no.
Really?
Do you think the San Antonio Spurs sold in the late 90s? Tim Duncan, who was dull as French onion dip, that sold? No. But you were good.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the point. You have all of these pieces. And everything I hear about, this is what they could do in the offseason, it's all insanity. Kelly Oubre has one of the most team-friendly deals in the NBA, and you're going to use that as a sweetener to get Russell Westbrook? Stop that. The Gordon Hayward deal is tough to digest, but it's not that bad.
No, and you only have 2 more years of it.
And now here's the other side of this. All right, so I asked, as currently constituted, will they be better than any of these teams? How close are they to 5 of them?
I think they're relatively close.
I would say 1 player. You're the one player that ties all of this together. And this is, I talk about this a lot. I've said this with the Panthers a lot. You got to be careful when you're rebuilding or you're trying to establish yourself or whatever, building the brand, however you want to say it, of jumping out of line. The Hornets are another year away. You're going to be in this exact same scenario next year if everything goes right, because you're incredibly young. don't try to jump that year. Just play. This has been fun. I've enjoyed this year. It's been nice for the Hornets to be it's a really fun product to watch. It's not a winning product because you can't stop anybody. Mm-hmm. That's not that hard to fix. But then you hear like every broken toy in the NBA could land in Charlotte. Just, no.
Miles Turner. I think I've heard that name a lot.
I think Miles Turner has probably been spoken more on Charlotte Hornet blogs than any player that didn't play in Charlotte in NBA history.
But would he not add some of that rim protection that you're looking for?
Miles Turner is the kind of player that makes me laugh because people look at, look how many blocks he gets. He is horror awful defensively. I mean, just detestably bad.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another one that I've heard, and that I fear that's going to be your solution. Oh, look, he gets a ton of blocks. The only problem is that any big guy that can play more than 12 feet away from the basket just annihilates him. I have always loved when, 2022, the NBA champion Denver Nuggets. We don't have any games to bet on tonight, so that's the only time I get to do that today. I love when we play Indiana. Because Nikola Jokic just goes, I am the captain now. Mm-hmm. I take the ball at the top of the key, and I know he's going to come to me. And this is going to end badly.
Mm-hmm. One of the solutions that I saw today that I think I could really get into was getting Mark Williams in the draft. The guy from Duke.
I don't hate that solution.
I mean, that'd be a great piece.
The NBA has two gigantic problems. One of them that I'll detail right here, and one that we'll talk about on the other side of the break. The NBA draft is borderline irrelevant at this point.
Is it?
Outside of the top 4 picks.
Okay.
Mark Williams is a lottery pick. And look, he's a nice piece. He's a lottery pick. He cannot shoot from further out than 4 feet.
Right.
Him and Bismack Biyombo, there is 5 inches in height difference. That's about it. One of them is a drastically better dunker. But even then, I look at that and go, I could be convinced. I could be convinced that's a piece.
Mm-hmm.
But that is problem A for the NBA. Your filter program is broken. Chet Holmgren, no doubt top 3 pick, right?
No doubt.
He will get abused in the NBA. I think he weighs less than I do.
But his ability to shoot from the outside is what everybody falls in love with. Oh, here's the 7'1" kid who can do it all. I mean, he can't bang down low like with like
Joel
in the
Embiid
style of traditional NBA centers. But the game's moving away.
Would post him up at the tip circle.
Mm-hmm.
I will back him down from half court to the basket, and he will never even vaguely impede me.
Right. The game is moving away from that, but you still have to be able to do those things. I mean, he's only 19 years old. So he's going to get into the NBA, and he's going to be able to add some pounds and get a little, get bulkier and things like that. But you don't think he's going to be successful in this league?
Not to the level that you think you will.
Not to the level of what a traditional third round or number 3 pick should be.
Okay, ask yourself this question. What is the real difference between Chet Holmgren and Kristaps Porzingis? I'll give you a hint. There's not one.
I was trying to think of one off the top of my head.
There's not one.
Couldn't come up with one.
They're both really tall, little wispy fellers that don't like to do what big guys are supposed to do. That's one of the prizes of the NBA lottery, which ties into something that has been a really popular topic today, and to me is absolutely insane.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Cold front coming on through Asheville tonight, although there's not a whole lot of rain with it. Most of the rain stays off to our west. Our temperatures in the upper 30s here tonight. We do get a little colder with northwest winds and lower humidity and a good Friday. Partly cloudy, a beautiful spring day for Friday. 66 our high tomorrow, low tomorrow night 48. And then some rain showers returning for Easter weekend. Saturday and Sunday highs in the 60s, lows in the 40s. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by COVIDclinic.org. This spring season, whether you're visiting family or headed to a festival, it's time for a COVID test. COVID Clinic offers quick and convenient same-day testing in your area. Visit COVIDclinic.org to find a location near you.
Kelley Blue Book is the one-stop shop for pricing, fixing, selling, and instant cash offering. Instant Cash Offer is exactly what it sounds like. An official offer to buy or trade your car. Just enter your VIN or license plate, answer a few questions about your car's history, and what kind of condition it's in. In minutes, you'll receive an offer to sell or trade your car that you can be sure is fair. Then choose a dealer to purchase your car and schedule a time to meet. For all of the its, KBB.com.
This April, Dork Racing's toughest gladiators come together in the last great Coliseum for a battle unlike any other. The World of Outlaws Bristol Bash.
3 cars racing for the win on the final lap.
See World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink, Sprint Cars, and World of Outlaws Case Late models collide for one massive weekend. April 28th to the 30th at Bristol Motor Speedway. Do not miss this chance to be part of history. The World of Outlaws Bristol Bash, April 28th to the 30th. Be there.
Hey, I'm Miles Gray.
And I'm Jack O'Brien, and we want to tell you about our new podcast,
Miles and Jack got Mad Boosties, an NBA podcast from iHeartRadio. This is a weekly podcast about all the amazing moments that keep NBA fans coming back for more.
Basically, if you love basketball and you like to laugh, listen to Miles and Jack Got Mad Boosties, an NBA podcast on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
This week at Macy's, get ready for Easter and spring get-togethers with an extra 20% off with your coupon or Macy's card. Or save 30 to 60% during our Diamond Sale. Shop the Great Shoe Sale for 40% off 2 or more pairs. And get 30 to 50% off suits and blazers for him. Plus, Star Rewards members earn rewards even faster now during Macy's Star Money Bonus Days. Savings off sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at RogueCombatClub.com.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I am Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Best song, and that is their best song by light years.
Oh, no doubt about it. With or without you, you two, they are in the final of the most overrated bands bracket. And you can vote right now in the YouTube stream. Just go to the Sportsocracy.com. Click on that live video link. Once you get through to YouTube, hit the subscribe button. You can chat with us during the show in the YouTube stream, but also, more importantly, cast your vote to decide who is the most overrated in music history. Is it U2? Or is it Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band? We will have a resolution by the end of today's program. So far, Bruce Springsteen by a wide margin over U2.
I said there were no losers here, and there's not. I'm not going to be upset either way this goes.
Uh-huh.
I did not see that coming.
I totally did. Because at least if you are, my age or a little older, the Gen X era, you were down with U2 at one point.
I don't think you can call yourself a member of Gen X.
Oh, absolutely.
You were born, and then
I'm
you're
on
not
the
listening to what I'm
backside
saying.
of Gen X.
You were born in it. You don't fit in it. You're closer to a baby boomer than you are to a Gen Xer.
No, not even kind of close. But that's it. I'm part of the what do they call us? The Oregon Trail generation, which. We're not exactly too old for computers, but we're not part of the millennial.
I didn't
generation.
realize I was a millennial until somebody broke it down for me, and and since that day, I've just been angry at everything.
No, I think you belong to the Oregon Trail as well. See,
no,
yeah.
I do not fit with. I don't. You know what? I'm my own independent. I'm my own thing.
You're your own era. Jeremy Greene, Flostradamus is an era to himself.
I am a mulleted man. That is the era I belong to. The mullet era.
Yeah, I'm one of those. I'm one of those who voted for Bruce Springsteen. I've always thought he was overrated from jump. And you too. At least will get the pass by me for their major role in the soundtrack of Blown Away, which is one of my favorite movies of the 1990s. Tommy Lee Jones? No? It's a great movie. Great movie. Yeah, okay, all right.
See, for me, Tommy Lee Jones has been in 2 movies. He was in The Fugitive.
And Batman Forever.
3 movies. He was in The Fugitive, Batman Forever, and Men in Black. That's it.
No
That's
U.S. Marshals? That was a good one.
Never seen it.
Oh, with Wesley Snipes?
Never seen it.
Great movie. Anyway, NBA has 2 major problems, you say, Jeremy?
And one of them is that your filter program is broken.
Mm-hmm.
Today there's been a big, should New Orleans move off Zion Williamson? Let me ask you a question. Name me the last 2 number 1 overall picks to make an all-star team.
I don't know.
I'll give you a hint. Zion's one of them.
Okay.
And he's played 9 games total.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually 80, somewhere in there.
Something like that.
The most recent one before that was Ben Simmons.
Huh.
There's been a lot of Markelle Fultz, Cade Cunningham that just move nothing.
Mm-hmm.
The NBA draft has become, when they say lottery, I never quite realized how accurate that was. It is a total crapshoot. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Luka Doncic is the best player that's been drafted in this league in 3 or 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not really all that close. Because if you look at the guys that have actually made all-star teams, there's Ja Morant, who I think we all universally say he's pretty good at the basketballs.
Yeah, should have been number 1 pick.
Luka. No, he shouldn't have. Stop talking. Anybody that took Ja Morant over Zion Williamson would have been fired before they got out of the building. And then it gets very Trae Young-y after that. Like, oh, you mean that guy that just shoots a lot and can't play any kind of defense?
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't really sell outside of Atlanta? That is the 3rd best player to be drafted in 4 years.
Right.
And I fully believe it's a mixture of all the college issues. There's a lot of issues.
Mm-hmm.
The second problem will be I'm mad.
Okay.
That will be my I'm mad for today. And I have been sitting on this for 2 days, and I may come unhinged.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
3? Can we get 3 baseball stories into one Sportsocracy show?
No.
Absolutely we can, because here
it's
you
too
go.
Many. All right, I'm going to have to cut one off the backside.
If you did not see the night that Vladimir Guerrero Jr. had last night against the New York Yankees, this is what heroes are made of. Vladimir Guerrero comes up in the first inning, bam, knocks a homer off of Garrett Cole. Second inning, he has to reach for a ball at first base, puts his hand behind the bag, and Aaron Hicks stepped on his hand, and blood just starts gushing from the hand. Then what'd he do? He came back into the game, not 1, but 2 more home runs hit by Vladimir Guerrero last night against the New York Yankees. Oh, he had a double as well and made Garrett Cole tip his cap to him on the field. This is baseball great territory. We already believe that Vladimir Guerrero is one of the next big stars of Major League Baseball. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and say it. I think at this point in his career, he's better than his dad was.
Oh, Vladimir Guerrero is the last actual old-school baseball player I ever liked.
Oh, I loved Vladimir Guerrero Sr. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., he could be better.
He had a really ridiculous – people never realize this with his dad. His dad hit with the longest bat I have ever seen in my life.
Yes.
I mean, it looked like a fence post that he was swinging.
But that's how powerful that dude was.
Oh, yeah.
And now Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is just blazing that path for the next generation.
I'm really glad you weren't actually asking me what he did after that. As you said, he got his hand stepped on and there was blood.
Yep.
What did he do after that? I was going to say, pee on it? I know you do that with jellyfish stings. Is it the same answer?
No, he's a gamer, man. He wrapped that thing up, hit 2 more dingers and a double in the game, and then got a couple of stitches afterward.
The XFL is still a year from playing, but they're already ahead of the USFL. Let me tell you why. Their coaching hires came out yesterday while we were off, and the list is actually pretty impressive. It includes former NFL head coaches Wade Phillips and Jim Haslett. Why is Jim Haslett involved in every one of these we do? It's almost like they start them and go, we got to give Jim a job.
Yeah, we got to call Jim.
Nobody in the NFL has called him like 11 years, but we'll just keep doing it. It's fine.
Right.
Bob Stoops,
mm-hmm.
and then 5 former NFL players that have no head coaching experience.
Which is fine.
Oh, it's more than fine. Anthony Becht, Reggie Barlow, Terrell Buckley, Hines Ward, and Rod Woodson.
Mm-hmm.
XFL wins. Before you play the game, you've already won. Because those are names that you can actually market. And I'm going to tell you, you mark my words of what I'm getting ready to say. There will come a day, I don't know if it's college, I don't know if it's the NFL, that we're going to have to break the story. New coach of blank, former XFL head coach Hines Ward.
Yep.
Or Rod Woodson, or whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
You're not doing that in the USFL. I can promise you that.
What are you trying to say? You trying to say Larry Fedora's not going to get a big boy job in the NFL?
Larry Fedora would be a great candidate for a mid-level high school. If he actually wore a fedora.
Right. No, I agree with you. The XFL, they are doing it right, obviously.
But this is what happens when smart people buy things. I don't care what you think about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. He is one of the most brilliant marketers in the world. And you know what he just did? He made his sport relevant.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's things I can identify with. And you're fast-tracking these guys to get other jobs. That's brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
There was no shot. I mean, and look, I know the Texans interviewed Hines Ward, but they were, okay, they called me, and I went, no,
thank you.
That's going to be enough for me. This is a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're basically using themselves as the minor league filler for the NFL. All these rule ideas, all of these coaches that we know the name, we know the face, we saw them play, and you're giving them the opportunity to get their feet wet as head coaches, not as coordinators, this is actual head coaching experience, which is incredibly relevant. As soon as I saw this yesterday, I went, yeah, this is going to work. This is going to work. This is going to take what the XFL started last year, and it's going to multiply it by 50. And that's exactly what it should do. We have done so many of these spring football leagues or whatever the case may be. And the mistake they make is they serve no purpose to the NFL. That's why they die, because there's no intertwining of the two. This gives you one of those, and honestly gives me great hope that this XFL thing's not just going to work. It's going to be really good.
I don't know. I think it's going to depend a lot on the talent that they have available to them. The USFL.
Well, the talent's going to be mid-tier. That's always been a problem.
Well, of course it is. But now you're fighting between the USFL and the XFL.
All right, so I'll take the name that you just said.
Mm-hmm.
If you're like my wife is a diehard Steelers fan, I try to convince her, hey, I want to watch a spring league football game in April. Which one do you think she's going to be more likely to watch? Larry Fedora, who she's going to ask, is that like Jake the Snake Roberts? It's not really his name, and he just wears a fedora. She has no idea who he is.
Right.
Or Hines Ward.
Oh, I get completely. Yeah.
There you go.
Much easier to sell. Speaking of, We've got big doings going on at the Harrah's Cherokee Center, Asheville. Tomorrow and Saturday, we've got women's tennis, and it is the Billie Jean King Cup. You can get your tickets at usta.com/BJKC. Joining us now in the Sportsocracy, the president of the Asheville-Buncombe Regional Sports Commission, Demp Bradford, and you have been running around like a chicken with your head cut off, trying to get everything organized and make sure things are flowing well down there at the Harrah's Cherokee Center, Asheville. Thanks for coming on and joining us. Tell us a little bit about the atmosphere down there as we get ready for this BJKC qualifier between the U.S. and the Ukraine.
Well, I think, first of all, this is the World Cup of women's tennis. This is the only team competition that there is in women's tennis. So, and the winner will go on to the finals, the final 8 later this year at a location to be determined. But, the cool thing is, the atmosphere is incredible. There's a lot of emotion. It's both, excitement, but then there, as I said earlier, it's just like, you're moved to tears, and there's just going to be tears and cheers, because, some of the stories that we're hearing from the Ukrainian players, whether it's the captain talking about feeling guilty, drinking a cup of tea while she's here, knowing that her family is in a bunker somewhere without food and drinks, or one of the players talking about that the reason that she plays tennis is not, she loves the game. She's playing tennis because it's the only source of income for her family, both her mother and grandmother who are staying in France, but the family back home. And she has a sister who is pregnant and a niece and nephew that are there. So, just the emotional impact, but it's the excitement of we had an opportunity as only the second city to have 3. This is if someone's listening and they're I have people at the gym saying it all the time. When are you going to get Fed Cup back? It's back. It's just been renamed for the legend Billie Jean King, who will actually be here tomorrow. She's coming in to see both of the teams. She's going to do the coin flip and be part of an exciting but emotional opening ceremonies that we're going to have tomorrow. So, it's the opening ceremonies are going to be incredible, and got a few more tickets to sell. And Asheville has been given a place in history in hosting this event. We thought, oh yes, we had the first or only the second 3-time city being chosen. We had no idea that we would have the honor of hosting the Ukrainian national team, or the players from Ukraine, and that we would be in the conflict that we're in. And it's all, we stand with Ukraine right now, and we're we've tried to reach out to our Ukrainian community here in Asheville because it's a tremendous community. So it's like I said, it's tears and cheers right now. A lot of final prep work going on. We've got ball kids that are practicing right now. There's been so many community events have been held already this week, and a few more tomorrow and Saturday. It's just a lot of excitement, and I could go on forever.
Yeah, it's great to hear the the U.S. players talking about being the hosts here in Asheville of the Ukrainian team, and how they have, just kind of locked arms with them and the emotional support throughout this week. And the fact that I'm interested to see what the crowd's going to be like for this, because we do have such a large contingent that in this city that is, either from the Ukraine or connected. They have family in the Ukraine. It might be one of the greatest shows of mutual admiration that you would ever see, with the U.S. taking on a foreign country, because of the things that are going on in the Ukraine right now.
Well, it is. These young women both teams have been tremendous together, and I had the privilege of getting to be part of just a casual dinner the other night where both teams got together. The official dinner was canceled, but they went out together and had dinner, and the U.S. team. The custom is that both teams shared gifts, and of course, with that process being gone, our ladies actually provided gifts to the Ukrainian players, and they provided them with these beautiful blankets that had both flags on it, and like United We Stand or We Stand Together. I can't remember exactly. It's on my Facebook, but it was so. Between the press conference the other day, that moment, I'm sitting there and I'm just, tears, and it's going to be excitement, and our community really, if you haven't bought a ticket, there are tickets. Come out, buy a ticket, because 10% of the proceeds of all the ticket sales, $1, Ingles is going to match $1 per ticket. Harrah's Cherokee Casino is going to match $2 a ticket, $5,000 from New Belgium, and $50,000 from Billie Jean King herself and her partner.
Wow.
Are all going to go to tennis. It's the Tennis Plays for Peace, which is it's basically a Ukrainian crisis relief fund that was recommended by. They talked to the Ukrainian tennis group and asked which group should be utilized. So it's not only you're buying a ticket to a once-in-a-lifetime event. We don't know today what tomorrow is going to look like, especially with that situation. So, we talked about today that, and so I want people to come out. I want to fill this place up because every single ticket is going to be money going to the Ukrainian crisis relief. And, but, we talked about today on a radio interview that we were doing, or a TV interview that we were doing, that we didn't know back on March 11th, 2020, we were worried about getting toilet paper. We were worried about getting hamburger. We were worried about what we were, milk and scrounging around. And we were talking from Ingles, about what was going on. And then I said, but imagine what's going on there and what they don't have, and we worried about toilet paper.
Right.
So, we think the last 2 years has been tough. It's nothing compared to what these individuals have gone through.
So tell us, if you're going to go out to the event, which we highly recommend. Again, the charity aspect of this is a great addition to what's going to be going on. But the competition that's going to be taking place tomorrow and on Saturday, tickets available at usta.com/BJKC. We're going to have 2 singles matches coming up tomorrow. And do the matches? I saw where it says it starts at 1. Do the matches start at 1, or is that the opening ceremonies with Billie Jean King and all of that?
The opening ceremonies will start at 1. I recommend everybody be in their seats by 10 till, just to get in.
Right.
But they will begin at 1. I think first ball will be probably about 10 after 1 both days. A little bit earlier on Saturday. There's 2 singles matches tomorrow. It's a best out of 5. So we will. We also have 3 matches scheduled on Saturday. If one of the teams were to win before then most of the time there's an exhibition match, maybe a doubles exhibition match. If you remember back in 2018. Actually, Serena and Venus played an exhibition match for doubles match.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of how the format is, and and our friends at Ingles are gonna They've done these incredible sunglasses that have both flags on them. They've got Ukrainian flags. They've got United States flags. We've got cowboy bells. It's going to be loud. we think an ETSU Furman, or ETSU UNCG or ETSU Wofford game is pretty loud in here. I don't think you'll hear anything louder than what we're going to have this weekend. It's going to be crazy.
Yep.
It's going to be awesome. It's going to be emotional, and it's going to be the place to be. And the eyes of the world are going to be on us. CNN's coming in, USA Today, New York Times. I feel like that, it's going to be a pretty impactful opportunity for Asheville to really shine in this event. Not only just the great venue, the great staff, the great volunteers, but the way we've hosted this event.
All right, Tim Bradford, the president of the Asheville-Buncombe Regional Sports Commission, joining us here in the Sportsocracy. We appreciate the time, and go out and get your tickets at usta.com/BJKC. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Our good friend, the marketing director over at Ingles Supermarkets, Melissa Leavell. She was supposed to be on with us today, but unfortunately she's feeling a little under the weather, so T's and P's to Melissa Leavell. She hopefully will be able to join us tomorrow as we'll talk more about the Billie Jean King Cup and this historic event that's going to be taking place at the Harrah's Cherokee Center, Asheville. Again, tickets available at usta.com/BJKC. We got a lot going on in the NFL. I know this is usually where you look forward to making some money with a green on green. There's nothing to bet on tonight except for baseball, and Jeremy absolutely refuses because then he says that is going to be the sign that he needs a meeting. So we'll talk about the odds and ends going on around the NFL coming up next here on ESPN Asheville.
At Ingles, we know your closest companions are the ones who are always there for you. The ones you trust to have your back, no matter what. Who make the hard times a little softer, and the good ones, somehow, a little better.
This week at Ingles, select sizes and varieties Kellogg's Townhouse or Club Crisp crackers, 2 for $5. Select sizes and varieties Starbucks coffee, $7.98 each. And select sizes and varieties General Mills cereal, 2 for $5. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Hey guys, I'm Ziggy, your local Philly girl, owner of Ziggy's Bakery and Deli. I've created a traditional northern deli with only the most authentic cheesesteaks outside of Philadelphia, served with provolone, white American, or Cheese Whiz. Our other classic deli sandwiches are made with the best quality meats and cheeses, available sliced by the pound. Join us for breakfast for house-made bagels with our custom cream cheeses. Or for something heartier, try a pork roll, egg, and cheese or house-cured lox. Ziggy's Bakery and Deli, in the corner of Asheville Commons, 1550 Hendersonville Road, open 8 to 3, Tuesday through Saturday.
Unlike other health concerns, mental illness is not always easy to see. Depression won't show up on an eye chart, and you won't find PTSD by looking at a thermometer. Sorting out a mental health concern takes professional diagnosis and treatment. Anxiety won't just go away under a bandage. If you or a loved one has a mental health concern, call 1-800-662-HELP for free and confidential information and treatment referral. Learn more at samhsa.gov/support.
Suffering from nagging joint pain or thinning hair, or maybe both? There are now regenerative options that provide lasting solutions without surgery or drugs. This is exciting stuff. You need to call QC Kinetics now. Learn how advances in natural biologics can restore and repair damaged tissue in your joints and in your aging hair follicles. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in these exciting, powerful, and effective procedures. New natural treatments that require no drugs and no surgery. Use your own body to heal itself. People here living with pain from arthritis or injury are getting real, lasting results at QC Kinetics. So listen, if you have pain in your knees, hips, back, or shoulder, and you want to avoid the knife, call QC Kinetics and see how today's regenerative options can get you moving again. Imagine waking up with no more chronic joint pain. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation. QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517. That's 333-9517.
As the country bounces back from COVID and mask mandates are lifted, your business needs a lift too. Promote your company right here, right now. Radio ads connect with 93% of Americans every week. That's more than Google, more than Facebook, more than TV. In fact, radio reaches 20% more millennials than TV. Want more of the people you want to talk to all in one place? Visit iHeartAdvertising.com and get AM and FM working for you. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
Okay, guys, we gotta put our trays up for takeoff.
Where's Dad?
Oh, he's in the back. We could only get 3 seats together.
Daddy has my pillow.
We'll get it later. Can you not put your feet up, please?
Why aren't we going?
We must be in line for takeoff.
Like security?
Well, that was a different line.
I have to go.
We just sat down.
But I have to go.
The seatbelt sign's on.
Why aren't we moving?
Hey, no picking.
We're just 15th in line for takeoff.
Son of a...
Don't go there. Go on a real vacation. Go RVing. Learn more at GoRVing.com.
Welcome back to the quickest podcast ever, brought to you by Kohl's.
Today's topic, Easter style.
I love when everyone's dressed in their Easter best.
Then you need to check out the deals at Kohl's. I got 25% off the perfect floral dress, a new shirt for my husband for only $34.99, and got 25% off outfits the kids are going to look adorable in.
Cue the family photo op.
Exactly. Did I mention you can also get an extra 30, 20, or 15% off with your Kohl's card and earn Kohl's cash?
Looks like some bunny hunted down the savings.
Select styles, 30, 20, or 15% offer ends April 16th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
It's ESPN Asheville, the Sportsocracy. Seen everywhere at thesportsocracy.com and on YouTube. Cast your votes for the more overrated between U2 or Bruce Springsteen. We're down to the final. U2 has now taken the lead. 53% to 47% on Bruce Springsteen to be crowned most overrated of all time.
This one's going to be close.
It is. It's going to come down to the wire. I thought it was going to be Bruce Springsteen in a walk here, but we've got some Bruce Springsteen fans or just absolute haters of U2 that have come into the.
I'm convinced there are the latter and not the former.
That's what you were doing when you stepped out of the studio earlier. You were signing on to every computer in this building, just swaying it toward U2, weren't you?
Well, I have 94 Gmail accounts, so I
why does that not surprise me?
That's not true, but I do have like 9.
I was going to say, from the guy who had 7 Twitters at one point.
4. And Adam Gold pointed that out on air. Like, you have a lot of Twitter accounts. It's funny because I don't ever use it. So now, if Elon Musk bought it, I might consider using it more.
Okay. Yeah, he has made an offer. What was it, $43 billion?
Yeah, it's $54 and some change per share for all the outstanding shares, and I want it to happen so bad.
Why? Because you think this is one more step to him becoming Batman.
Real life Batman. That's exactly what it is. It's now you own a media conglomerate. What did Bruce Wayne own?
Yeah, that's
just
true.
Throwing it out there.
That's true.
Just throwing it out there. You're only 2 steps away from putting on a pointy-eared suit and fighting crime.
You should go the Iron Man route, actually, if you're going to do that. I mean, if you're going to be billionaire.
No.
Yeah, if you're going to be billionaire
technology
who becomes
that doesn't
a superhero.
exist. You become Batman. Just go study martial arts.
Elon's sending people to the moon. I'm sure he can figure out how to make a little suit fly.
And I got news for you. Elon's already done that. This close.
This close to being Batman?
Real life Batman.
Yeah. Anyway, we got things going on in the NFL. We've got, here's some old names that have landed new contracts. We got Sammy Watkins.
Aaron Rodgers, when asked for quote, said, "Please tell me you don't think you're done." He will play 4 games.
No, you bring in Sammy Watkins, you throw him in there with what they already have, and you draft 2 wide receivers at the top of the draft. Boom.
What they already have. What is that exactly?
Well, you got
Geriatric Randall Cobb and the Lazard King.
2 guys that Aaron's very comfortable with. I mean, there's a reason they stuck around. It wasn't just that, Aaron wants them there. Might keep him from. I wonder if he's going to sling balls at Sammy Watkins like he did that kid in the pickup game the other day. Did you see that? No. Aaron Rodgers was, working with a whole bunch of kids, and they were running through drills, and he was trying to throw a pass, and one of the kids picked him off, and then came up and talking smack to him to hand him the ball, and as soon as the kid ran past him and handed him the ball, Aaron just turned around and whipped it at him. It was
Which
great.
Makes me only like Aaron Rodgers more.
It was like the Peyton Manning Saturday Night Live thing. A.J. Greene, he's going to be back with the Arizona Cardinals on a 1-year contract.
Also 84 years old.
Yes. And then we also had Geno Smith. Geno Smith getting a 1-year deal with the Seattle Seahawks for around $4 million. Incentives, if he hits any of them, it could be $7 million.
And those incentives are he has to be real-life Batman Elon Musk's Robin. He has to learn to fly.
Right. We had one big deal in the NFL yesterday, the Derek Carr extension, which we'll talk about coming up after the SportsCenter update here at the top of the hour. But I've got an update myself. PhD weight loss, it's doing it for me still, as we are now 4.5 months into the program, and I've lost another 4 and some change. And that means I'm down to 237 pounds. I'm getting closer and closer to my goal week by week. And with this program, it's not one of those things that you lose it all just immediately. I'm losing 3 pounds a week, and it doesn't sound like a whole lot, but that adds up over time, and I am already down 58-plus pounds on this program.
PhD has fixed 2 of the biggest problems I had. 1, I'm really lazy when it comes to food. 2, I can't sleep at all. I'm back down to my high school weight, sleeping better than I have in years, and I feel fantastic, all thanks to the program and food at PhD Weight Loss.
With PhD Weight Loss, you no longer have to, quote-unquote, struggle with weight loss programs. Go to myphdweightloss.com. It's myphdweightloss.com.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Cold front coming on through Asheville tonight, although there's not a whole lot of rain with it. Most of the rain stays off to our west. Our temperatures in the upper 30s here tonight. We do get a little colder with northwest winds and lower humidity and a good Friday. Partly cloudy, a beautiful spring day for Friday. 66 our high tomorrow, low tomorrow night 48. And then some rain showers returning for Easter weekend. Saturday and Sunday highs in the 60s, lows in the 40s. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Are you a safe driver? Are you looking to save money? With DriveWise from Allstate, the safer you drive, the more you can save. At Allstate, better protection costs a whole lot less. Visit allstate.com or call an agent for a quote today.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Professional women's tennis is coming back to Harrah's Cherokee Center, Asheville, April 15th and 16th. Tickets are on sale now at USTA.com/BJKC. Get your tickets and see Team USA women's tennis in this exciting match, April 15th and 16th.
Invisible Fence brand is changing the way people live with their pets. Experienced professionals provide pets independence to play outside while providing you confidence they're secure. Visit InvisibleFence.com to learn more. Invisible Fence brand. Surround your pets with care.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. The Arizona Cardinals will bring back wideout A.J. Greene on a one-year deal. He caught 54 passes for 848 yards and 3 touchdowns last season. The last 2 games of the NBA play-in tournament are tomorrow night, both on ESPN Radio. Road teams are 0-4 so far, but ESPN's Vince Carter says the Hawks could be dangerous in Cleveland.
If Trey can get his guys going early, if they can knock down shots early and they're able to get into the paint where Trey can dominate in the second half, look out for the Hawks because they understand what it takes to win in big games.
Hawks Cavaliers, then Pelicans Clippers, both tomorrow night here on ESPN Radio. Tiger Woods plans to play in a 2-day Pro-Am in Ireland in early July. That's just 10 days before the start of the 150th Open Championship, which will be played on the old course at St. Andrews. Woods isn't sure yet if he'll play in the PGA Championship in May or at the U.S. Open in June.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. We're close, convenient, and known for our guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better prices, every day.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen. He's useless. But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy, presented by Ingles Supermarkets.
Welcome back into the Ingles Studio here on ESPN Asheville. 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, live or on demand. And you can see us live or on demand as well on YouTube. Video stream of the show, as well as our happy hours, all of our extra content that is going out, team by team, Draftmas season content. Coming out, we're doing our perfect A+ Chris Farley mock drafts. We named it that because he's the perfect comedian.
Well, Lottie frickin' dog!
We got those going out team by team, pretty much hour by hour over the next 3 to 4 days.
Literally, by the end of the weekend, they'll all be out. And if you want to know who's up next, just go to the channel. It'll be there.
Right. I hear you already have some choice comments for you on the Carolina Panthers. Perfect
I love
mock
people
draft.
that are like, you do not know the Carolina Panthers.
Okay.
I never thought I would be able to say this. I need you to do me a favor. Google me. There you go.
That's the equivalent of saying scoreboard.
It's the ultimate. Look, I have always said that the forces in the sky, God, whatever you want to call it, will never allow me to have just a copious amount of money.
Nope.
Because I would be insufferable. However, the closest I will probably ever come is that now I can actually say, Google me.
You go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and you can get all of our team-by-team content, as well as, of course, get the reminders every time we're live right here in the Ingles Studio. Sportsocracy always brought to you by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings. Yes, it is a big few days over the next couple of days here in Asheville with the Billie Jean King Cup in town, the U.S. hosting the Ukraine women's tennis tie, the qualifier here for the Billie Jean King Cup. Billie Jean King herself will be at the Harrah Cherokee Center, Asheville, tomorrow to kick off all of the festivities with the opening ceremonies, as you heard Dent Bradford from the Asheville-Buncombe Regional Sports Commission tell us in the last hour. And get your tickets right now over at usta.com/BJKC. It is going to be quite the scene tomorrow and Saturday. As who do you root for? Is there any? Is this the one sporting event where we have the U.S. versus blank, where there will be almost equal cheers on both sides because of the things that are going on in the Ukraine? And just a reminder that not only Ingles Supermarkets donating $1 to the Ukraine Relief Fund with every ticket sold for the event, but 10% of the proceeds that the USTA gets also going to that. Billie Jean King and her partner donating $50,000 themselves, and Harrah's Cherokee Casino going to be giving $2 to the Ukraine Relief Fund from every ticket sold. So USTA.com/BJKC. That you will never. This plays off of what, Jeremy, you just said. They will never allow you, God will never allow you to have, screw you money, as they put it. Derek Carr.
He has that.
He has that now. He has a $121.5 million contract just stored away now with the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, this is a team-friendly deal. There's flexibility in it for the team. And he says he learned a lot from the Khalil Mack thing, that, they had to make the decision. We got to send Khalil Mack out because we got to pay our quarterback, and he doesn't want that to happen again. So Derek Carr agreeing to this deal that the Las Vegas Raiders could essentially get out of it in a year. I don't think they're going to want to.
They're not going to.
I don't think they're going to want to, because I could see big things coming for the Raiders now that Davante Adams is in town.
I mean, this was the logical progression with where the salary cap is, the thought that it's going to increase $30 million a year per year this was a home run for the Raiders. And it's exactly what you should have done. Now, Derek Carr is the 5th highest paid quarterback in the NFL as of right now. I will argue a year from now, he won't be in the top 10. And the team that should be looking at this going, but why? Is Baltimore.
Uh-huh.
I cannot for the life of me understand what more Baltimore needs to go, okay, we have to get this done.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is costing us $4 million per season every time somebody signs a deal. And it's starting to make me wonder, they may have no intention of doing it whatsoever.
You think?
Take the journey with me here.
Okay.
Lamar is a player that we have routinely said is not necessarily going to age well.
Right.
He would in theory, be a free agent next offseason.
Mm-hmm.
What prevents him from franchising him twice?
Nothing.
And then you just roll with it.
The only person that can control that is Lamar. And Lamar doesn't seem willing or interested in pushing that narrative. I mean, you're gonna get talked about poorly in the media if you pull one of these. I'm not playing for you. I'm
Which he's not
going to
do.
New contract.
Lamar's not going to do that.
I know. That's what I'm saying, though. But maybe Lamar sees this as his opportunity to, let's do this.
It's the only thing that makes sense. Literally, it is the only thing that makes sense that Baltimore is sitting here going, we don't want to do this.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to commit to this long term because we don't know how this is going to age. I said the same thing a year ago about Cleveland with Baker Mayfield. Weird. How right was I on that? By the way, little trivia question that I'm going to ask in the YouTube comments.
Okay.
We don't do this enough. I like trivia. When Baker is eschewed from Cleveland, he will be the second or third. He will be the third number 1 overall pick to not make it to a 5th season with the team that drafted him. Name the previous 2.
Mm-hmm. Fire that away in the comments. Let's see who can get it and how fast.
One of them's much more difficult than the other.
You know, I thought the same thing when I saw the Derek Carr thing, and I started seeing the breakdowns of the numbers. That he is now the 7th quarterback in the NFL that will break the $40 million a year mark. And Lamar Jackson, to me, he deserves to be in that group. You don't think so?
I don't.
Really?
I don't. No, I don't.
Really?
No,
With the
don't.
money that Dak Prescott's making and
the Dak
Matthew
Prescott deal
Stafford.
is a joke. I said that the day they signed it. It's a joke. You painted yourself into a corner.
Mm-hmm.
You
Lamar
had no
belongs in that group,
choice.
though.
Okay. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Lamar's not a top 10 quarterback in this league, because he is.
Yes.
He's also the scariest one if I had to pay the huge guaranteed money. Let me tell you a little story about how this works, because I don't think a lot of people know this.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what happens when you sign somebody to a deal? Let's take the Deshaun Watson deal, because I know the exact numbers on it. $230 million guaranteed. Do you know what the owner has to do the minute that there's a signature on that contract?
What's that?
Every dime of that had to go into escrow. Do you know how hard it would be to to move $230 million into escrow for a guy that absolutely terrifies me? Not because he's not a good player. I'm gonna go with a player we've already talked about in this show, Russell Westbrook. When you live off your athleticism, you're not gonna age particularly well. Think about quarterbacks that have played on up in years. How many of them use their feet a lot? Michael Vick, now granted, Michael Vick, there were mitigating circumstances, but the decline had already started. Nobody wants to talk about that. The decline had started with him because the injuries were racking up. It seemingly every time he broke contain, something went wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And I have this funny feeling that Steve Bisciotti's looking around going, I don't know that I want to do this. And if I do want to do it, I want to push it down. I want to kick this can down the road as far as I can. And he's got 2 franchise years that still wouldn't put him at the money that Josh Allen got.
Yet. I mean, in 3
2 years from now, you're still going to be in the same shape.
And the money's still going to be the same?
Because you got to remember the franchise tag is active contracts. It doesn't matter what's in the offing.
Mm-hmm.
It's the average of the top 5 at the position that
today.
year.
Right.
Joe Burrow's not going to hit that.
True.
And that's Kelvin Joyner in the comments said this needed to happen. He is a Raiders fan.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you that think this is a bad contract, wait till Joe B and Justin Herbert get their deals. That's the point. That's the whole point. They're both in their second year. You have 2 more years on the rookie deal and an option third year.
Mm-hmm.
Lamar has 1 more year on his current deal, his option year. 2 franchise years.
Oh, yeah.
So
before
I can literally,
the huge money
before
kicks
the
in.
$60 million a year deal that's coming for Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert.
There's no doubt.
Before that shows up, I don't have to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
There's nobody in the offing that's going to get money. The Derek Carr thing's already gotten me. I'm already at 40. I know that if I come with a number that's lower than $40 million, this goes nowhere. Because he's going to look at me and laugh. Now, to me, Derek Carr is one of those quarterbacks that I've always laughed. Him and Kirk Cousins. I do not understand why so many people don't like you. But it's funny to me.
Because they don't win anything.
Update on our trivia contest. Stephen Tao was the first one to get one of them. Jamarcus Russell was the first.
Mm-hmm.
Quarterbacks. Only quarterbacks. 2 quarterbacks have not made it to the 5th year after being drafted number 1 overall.
And you
Marcus Russell's 1.
And you got to go back further than that for the other one.
Yes, this has not been recently.
No, it has not been. This is when we were kids, guys. If you're in
some
my,
of us.
Well,
for me, I was.
You were
I wasn't
a kid.
Even, I was
technically
a
a
baby.
kid.
I couldn't speak words yet. Some people would argue I still can't, but
it has been in your lifetime.
Yes, barely.
Yeah. I'm down with you.
But that's what I'm sitting here looking at going,
path.
none of this makes any sense. Why would you keep allowing these things to happen that's costing you money?
Mm-hmm.
And then I heard the breakdown and went, how many quarterbacks are coming up in the next 2 years that are actually going to move this number at all?
How many?
It's Kyler.
That's it?
That's it. There are no others. It's Kyler Murray. Because he's 1 year ahead of Lamar.
Yeah.
Lamar is 1 year ahead of Kyler.
Mm-hmm. Which there was another story that just surfaced about an hour ago that was, Kyler Murray hasn't been offered a contract extension with the Arizona Cardinals
And I'm
yet.
at a level with you. I think they'll do the exact same thing.
Just keep franchising them. As long as
the number's going to get ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
But the more time that you can buy yourself before you get into that, where you're leveraged. Like Deshaun Watson, for example.
Well, Kyler will push the issue. He's different than Lamar. I believe he will.
I can tell you for a fact Arizona's already offered him outside of the conference to another team, and they said no.
Really?
Yes. A team offered 2 ones. Arizona said no. They were willing to talk, but they wanted more. They wanted closer to what Deshaun Watson got.
Okay. That's not going to happen.
And that's not going to happen.
No.
So the question is, why would you do anything? Why would I paint myself into a corner? This is too smart of a franchise to do something like that. I have this built in. Now, could it get contentious with Lamar? Maybe. I don't think it will. Lamar is the consummate professional, and he's hyper competitive.
Mm-hmm. I could think it could. I mean, he's going to play this year.
Tell me the path.
He'll play this year on the 5th-year option.
Mm-hmm.
Next year.
What's he do? Take everything you know about Lamar Jackson. Does he go, I'm going to hold out and not play week 1?
No.
Nope.
No.
He's too competitive for that.
But maybe after 2 years. Maybe after playing on the 5th-year option, getting franchised, and then.
I don't think he'd ever do it.
Well, no, because then there'd still be a raise in it because the second time you get franchised, you get another.
Oh, he would make 40. Let's see. I can actually add it up.
Was it 30% if you get franchised the second time?
It's 100 and I think it's 115% the second time, 130% the second time.
Okay. All right.
I mean, you're going to be in that 40. Yeah, I mean that $45-ish million range.
Yeah.
The first time you'll be 40. Math.
If a deal doesn't
you could
get
be over
done,
$50 million second time.
If a deal doesn't get done, an extension doesn't get done with Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens, I don't know how much longer he might keep his mom negotiating his contracts. At that point, maybe he will turn around and go, you know what, I need an agent because an agent's going to get this deal done for me.
All right, but even think about that. You've made it this far where you're basically negotiating your own deal within the family.
Right.
None of this has changed.
No.
Why? because he doesn't want to pay anybody. Lamar Jackson, look, you can like his game, you can hate his game. I don't care. Lamar Jackson is ridiculously smart when it comes to how to play this game because he knows you're not going to put any offset language on me. If you're going to do this, we're going to do it. I don't need an agent to negotiate this. I can negotiate this. What is that number going to look like, Mr. Buschiotti? And how long are you willing to go? That's it. There's nothing else there. But he's so competitive, and he has such a chip on his shoulder. And Stephen Tao just said it, our resident Ravens fan. Something to prove. He has always felt that way. I don't think he would. I think that he would allow Baltimore to kick this down the road for 2 years. Now, you could ultimately really hurt yourself because I don't want to know what the number on Herbert, like let's say Herbert and Burrow got done early, and it's very possible. Wouldn't affect the franchise tag, but when you see that number, there will become some very, very uncomfortable quarterbacks going, oink.
One of them was Pat Mahomes.
I heard a soft projection on what a Herbert Burrow deal could look like.
Do tell.
5 years.
Yeah.
How much?
5 years. Oh, math. 350.
You're high, but not by much.
Okay.
325.
Yeah.
$325 million. That's where you're headed. NFL quarterbacks are going to make more than max level NBA stars. And I got news for you. I don't care. I don't care.
Well, look at the market. Look at the difference.
If you told me it was 5 years, $100 jillion, I would go, probably worth it. Probably worth it.
Yeah.
But it would be disconcerting to me if I was Lamar Jackson of what is it you're waiting on exactly? And I think it's just that they know. They're looking at the Dallas Cowboys going, okay, be 100% honest with yourself. I would rather have Lamar Jackson than Dak Prescott.
I would too.
That Dak deal is an albatross, and it hasn't even started yet. And I feel like Bisciotti's looking at that going, it's okay to pay a quarterback. The Derek Carr deal, I have no issue with that. It's 3 extra years at roughly $40 million a year.
Yep.
You can also get out of it really easily. Not saying that you would, you just could.
Right.
And there's more risk with Lamar Jackson or, I mean, I could go down even Baker Mayfield. Guys that like to break contain. There's more risk there. There's more risk there. I love the old school quarterback that just goes, you know what? They don't pay me to run. Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning in a foot race would lose to me.
Right.
But he also had an innate ability to never get hit.
But if you took that away from Lamar, I mean, Lamar's not going to become a pocket passer. It's never going to be part of his game.
That's the point. Well,
you know what I mean.
All right, so that's the point with Lamar Jackson. How long into his career is he going to be that dynamic? I understand he's one of the fastest players in the league. I get that. How long is he going to be? Because take the wheels away from Lamar Jackson, what do you have? If you even slowed him down to 4.6, is he that dynamic? Really? Linebackers are faster than him. Is he that dynamic? No. And that's what I think Bisciotti's afraid of. That's what I think the front office is afraid of. They have always held the line of we will let a guy go a year early before we will pay them a year too late. They've always been that way. Virtually every team in the AFC North is that way outside of the Browns. And I think there's more to it than people think. Up until this point, as we go into a commercial break, nobody has gotten the second quarterback. When Baker Mayfield is eschewed by the Cleveland Browns, he will become the third quarterback in NFL history to go number 1 overall and not make it to his 5th year. Jamarcus Russell is 2. Name the third.
You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Cold front coming on through Asheville tonight, although there's not a whole lot of rain with it. Most of the rain stays off to our west. Our temperatures in the upper 30s here tonight. We do get a little colder with northwest winds and lower humidity and a good Friday. Partly cloudy, a beautiful spring day for Friday. 66 our high tomorrow, low tomorrow night 48. And then some rain showers returning for Easter weekend, Saturday and Sunday, highs in the 60s, lows in the 40s. I'm meteorologist Scott Laurie. More, that's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Drag slow 240 westbound near Charlotte Street. An accident reported. 26 westbound crawling between Airport Road and the French Broad River. Earlier disabled vehicle here. 26 eastbound stop and go after Long Shoals Road and approaching Airport Road. Again, 26 eastbound crawling near Saluda between Ozone Drive and US 74 exit 67. Near Saluda, US 176 Spartanburg Highway is stop and go, approaching Cabin Fever both directions. On the Smoky Park Highway, traffic is moving well. Near Avery Creek, Brevard Road northbound, approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. Again, Brevard Road northbound slow between Clayton Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Sweeten Creek Road northbound, approaching Mills Gap Road slow. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by COVIDclinic.org. This spring season, whether you're visiting family or headed to a festival, it's time for a COVID test. COVID Clinic offers quick and convenient same-day testing in your area. Visit COVIDclinic.org to find a location near you.
This April, Dirt Racing's toughest gladiators come together in the last great Coliseum for a battle unlike any other. The World of Outlaws Bristol Bash.
3 cars racing for the win on the final lap.
See World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink, Sprint Cars, and World of Outlaws Case Lake models collide for one massive weekend. April 28th to the 30th at Bristol Motor Speedway. Do not miss this chance to be part of history. The World of Outlaws Bristol Bash, April 28th to the 30th. Be there.
Kelley Blue Book is the one-stop shop for pricing, fixing, selling, and instant cash offering. Instant Cash Offer is exactly what it sounds like. An official offer to buy or trade your car. Woo-hoo! Just enter your VIN or license plate, answer a few questions about your car's history, and what kind of condition it's in. In minutes, you'll receive an offer to sell or trade your car that you can be sure is fair. Then choose a dealer to purchase your car and schedule a time to meet. For all of the it's, KBB.com.
No trip planning is complete without a visit to COVID Clinic. With multiple locations, there's one nearby with the quick and convenient patient testing you need to keep everyone around you safe. Find a location in your area at covidclinic.org.
Welcome back to the quickest podcast ever, brought to you by Kohl's.
Today's topic, Easter style.
I love when everyone's dressed in their Easter best.
Then you need to check out the deals at Kohl's. I got 25% off the perfect floral dress, a new shirt for my husband for only $34.99, and got 25% off outfits the kids are going to look adorable in.
Cue the family photo op.
Exactly. Did I mention you can also get an extra 30, 20, or 15% off with your Kohl's card and earn Kohl's cash?
Looks like some bunny hunted down the savings.
Select styles, 30, 20, or 15% off ends April 16th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
O'Reilly. This is Sarah's O'Reilly Auto Parts story.
Driving cross-country with 2 young children is ambitious, to say the least. Then our check engine light came on. We pulled into O'Reilly Auto Parts and they tested it. Turned out it was a faulty sensor. They referred us to a great mechanic just down the street and we were back on the road in no time.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
At Ingles, we know your closest companions are the ones who are always there for you. The ones you trust to have your back, no matter what. Who make the hard times a little softer, and the good ones, somehow, a little better.
This week at Ingles, select sizes and varieties Kellogg's Townhouse or Club Crisp crackers, 2 for $5. Select sizes and varieties Starbucks coffee, $7.98 each. And select sizes and varieties General Mills cereal, 2 for $5. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Most overrated song of all time. I'm sorry, I know there are people who love this song, but it's
brutal.
This is what got Bruce Springsteen the vote from me today in the finals of the most overrated bands bracket.
Listen to him sing it. Turn that up. He sounds like a diesel mechanic. I mean, no offense to diesel mechanics. I'm sure some of you are incredibly talented and you're wonderful at what you do. But really? Like, you're one of the most paid artists of all time?
Right.
That guy sounds like he should be fixing my muffler.
Yep. It's just his rugged good looks that made him so popular back in the 1980s.
Oh yeah, he was 1980 hot. That's
no doubt.
Yeah, that does not apply today. Apologies.
It is U2 versus Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band in the most overrated bands bracket final. We will have a champion by the end of this program, and it is super close. It's been going back and forth for the entire show. Right now, Bruce Springsteen retaking the lead as the most overrated of all time, 54 to 46%.
I believe I have officially stumped the chat.
I believe so. They have. Should I give?
There's been a lot of Tim Couch, and Tim Couch did make it to a fifth year.
Right.
The quarterback that didn't make it to year 5.
Are you just going to give it to him? You're not going to keep him guessing?
All right, we'll
Let's
keep
go.
him guessing.
All right,
Let me
give you a hint. Okay,
I
you go ahead.
have a hint,
Okay.
and I don't know if this will help. This quarterback ended up leading the league in passing yards for another team just a few years later.
Mm-hmm.
He's also a great mustache.
Mm-hmm.
He had a wonderful mustache.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'll give another hint. He's also the only quarterback I have ever seen scream at his head coach on the sideline like a smallish child.
And 2 first names.
He would be on the all 2 first name team.
Yes, he would. We are looking for the quarterback who was taken first overall in the draft and did not make it to a 5th year with his team. We already have Baker Mayfield is going to join these guys because he's not going to be around in Cleveland any longer. And Jamarcus Russell. We've already settled those. We're looking for the last one that was a number 1 overall pick and did not make it to the 5th year with his team that drafted him. Number 1 overall.
We've gotten this one a lot. David Carr. He actually made it 5 years.
He did.
Which is staggering. He won 23 games.
I didn't think he lived that long. In NFL, in NFL terms.
Oh, here's a fun question. How many years did David Carr play in the NFL?
9.
10.
Yeah.
He played 10 years and couldn't play dead in a Western.
He was a backup for the Panthers at one point, wasn't he?
For a year, yeah.
Yeah.
He was a backup for the Giants for 3 years and a backup in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm. But he had already had his brains beaten in by being the first, number 1 overall pick by the Houston Texans.
And I'll still maintain David Carr had some talent.
Yeah.
You want to know why Carolina should take an offensive tackle at 6? Because David Carr had talent. The only problem is that every time he got to the top of a 5-step drop, it looked like he had been dropped off in the middle of the freeway.
Mm-hmm.
Because literally, they couldn't block anybody. They hinged that whole team on Tony Baselli, and he never played a snap for them.
Tyler Cunningham says he would take David Carr right now over Darnold and Pickett.
I don't know about right now. David Carr's older than I am. And I'll be honest with you, I hurt myself checking our mail not that long ago. Not saying we're athletically on the same par. Just, okay. Rex Buttrick has officially gotten the answer. It was Jeff George.
Yeah. Jeff
Who
George.
then wound up leading the NFL in passing yards for the Raiders 5 years later?
Mm-hmm. 1997.
And didn't even break 4,000. You want to know how different the NFL is now? The passing yards leader in 97 threw for 3,900 yards.
All right, let's get.
Oh, don't you let that sneak back in.
I'm
here.
sorry, it's still going. Jesus, that song
you
goes
beat
forever.
that with a stick or something. That needs to just disappear. Delete it out of the system. Don't even let Star play it. Just no.
Let's get weird.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
Don't do crimes. Here's a story coming to us from our very own region here. This comes to us from upstate South Carolina, downtown Greenville, city that Jeremy loves.
I do lived there.
But they are being plagued by a serial crime doer.
A serial crime doer.
Yes.
I am really invested in what this crime is.
The Greenville Police Department got several calls yesterday. I believe this was yesterday. Yesterday, because there are assaults happening around downtown. Apparently, the same guy is going all over town pieing people in the face. He's putting whipped cream on the plate and then just flap, popping it right in your face. A woman who was walking down the sidewalk pushing her child in a stroller called police after this strange man just came up and boom, pied her right in the face. And apparently they got several calls yesterday of this happening to people in downtown Greenville.
This makes me want to go to downtown Greenville and just wear a shirt that says, "Think before you act."
I dare you.
Look, I don't claim to be the baddest dude on the planet, but you hit me with a pie and I'm not expecting it, it's not going to go well for you.
Yep. Not the first time that the crime was reported in the last 24 hours. The assault happened about 2:30 yesterday afternoon on the Main Street Bridge, and Crime Stoppers is looking for this man, which is it's really strange. They found a photo of this guy who looks like he's posing for the security camera with the pie, with the whipped cream plate in his hand, like, "Hey, how you doing, guys? I'm getting ready to just go terrorize the entire town." And they're hoping that they can catch up with him. If you have any tips, you can call Crime Stoppers at 864-23-CRIME.
I am now the chances of me going to Greenville this weekend have multiplied exponentially. I don't think exponentially is a word. Exponentially would be the word I was looking for.
True.
And I can't say what this shirt would say on the air, so I'm going to have to censor it. I'm going to wear a shirt that says, "Mess around and find out." Speaking of finding things out, I was today years old when I found out how many stupid jobs there were in this country.
Okay.
There is an NYU graduate. His name is Taylor Humphrey, and he has started a business with his NYU degree. He is naming people's children.
Oh.
For $10,000 a piece.
Wait.
Do you not know what Google is? They have lists of baby names that are just 40 billion long. Who in the world goes, "You know what, we need somebody to tell us what to call our child"? Here's the troubling part. Over 100 families have done this.
That's crazy.
He's made over $100,000. Apparently some of these families got discounts.
Mm-hmm.
He's actually made over $150,000 naming people's children, which got me to thinking, is that the dumbest job that you could possibly have?
Yep, I think so. I think that is the dumbest job you could possibly have.
And here's the thing. Here are just, I did what these parents couldn't do and Googled it. There are people that are pet food tasters.
Why?
They test pet food by eating it to find out if it is suitable for consumption for people's pets. There is a person somewhere that wakes up in the morning, puts their feet on the floor, and knows that their job is to go eat dog food. I'm not done.
I mean, I hope you get paid a lot for that job.
I'd love
to know the hourly
just
rate.
So you know, a lot of these are pet related because things people do with their pets have always
ridiculous.
It just dumbfounded me.
Right.
Here's one that it sounds better on the door than it really is. Licensed pet psychologist.
Yep, those people make a lot of money.
Why? What did the dog tell you about how it felt?
I mean, that's like they had a TV show. Cesar Millan, the dog whisperer or whatever he was.
Yeah, but he wasn't a psychologist.
I mean,
he wasn't sitting floofy down on a couch going, "And how did that make you feel?"
He says you need to change the water in his bowl more. He's not feeling appreciated enough.
CD rack manufacturer.
Yeah, that's gone.
No, it's not. They're adamantly looking for people to work in manufacturing of CD racks. If you gave me $100 and said, "I need you to go purchase me a CD and you can keep the change," I would not know where to go.
Oh, come on.
Like, can you go to Amazon?
Yeah.
Is there still look, I mean, I don't claim to shop much. I do most of my shopping online. If you go to, say, Walmart or Target, is there still a CD section?
Yes.
How many cobwebs does that? New dumb job. Person that mans that department. Electronics, I get. If you're the CD guy,
well, it's in the electronic department.
Okay, so it's all one job.
Yeah,
okay.
It's in there with the DVDs and all of that. I mean, you used to have
electronics at Target.
Yeah, you used to have like 18 rows of CDs. Now there's just one little section, and you got to choose from 7 bands, I think.
I had never thought of this one. Self-storage manager.
Yep.
What is your job? Like what do you do?
You run the cash register, and you make sure that people
why is there a
aren't breaking
cash register? The reason that I thought about this, I have a self-storage unit that when we downsized from the house and went into a condo, we had more stuff than we had space.
Yeah.
I've never seen a human work at this place. There's no cash register for me to go pay for it. I have to call them and give them my credit card, and they deduct it, or go to the website.
There's not like an office in the storage building?
What would this person do?
Well, I can tell
it's
you
my
because
lock on your door.
Right.
There's no role here.
Well, I mean, I will tell you this. The dumbest human being I've ever known, and, he's no longer a member of the family. He was my ex-brother-in-law. And my ex-brother-in-law went through every job possible. And he lasted 1 day. 1 day. And that was his job. He was working the cash register at a self-storage place.
How do you boo-boo kitty that?
Because you are dumber than a box of bricks. And you can't do math, apparently. He lost every easy job he ever had.
I will give you a storage unit for $100. That seems like too much. I'll give you one for $1.
He couldn't even work the toll booth or whatever, the little acceptance booth at the dump.
That was actually another one of them. Toll booth operator.
Yeah.
We don't need a human to do that.
Not anymore.
It's a bin that you throw change in. You don't even have a button. I found that out the hard way one time, by the way. If you ever come to a toll road, there are toll roads in South Carolina. When I lived down there, there was a way that I could get to my house that had tolls. I did not know this. They don't have a button in that shack to lift the arm. You have to give it the right monies or it won't lift. Why are you here? Do you go to lunch at 2 and come back on Tuesday?
Right.
And nobody knows the difference?
Well, I mean, they have a lot of these in Florida. And there have been times where you get on the wrong road in Florida and, here's the toll booth. I got no money. And they don't have, debit card slots. So I need somebody in there to go, what do I do?
Everything should have a debit card slot.
Yes.
That's first and foremost.
Agreed.
Because several people in the comments said not everybody has exact change. Then tap out on the 10 cents. I got $1.60, but I don't have $1.50. First of all, there's no way that math works. But we'll get away from that.
Okay, all right, moving on.
There's
Way to go, John.
There is no combination of $1.60 that leads where you don't have $1.50.
This is how you get fired.
There's no such thing as a 20-cent coin.
Yeah.
I went. I'm not gonna lie. I went down a rabbit hole. I never thought of that.
Mm-hmm.
Professional snuggler.
I'm completely down with that.
That is, personally, that is my own personal version of hell.
The problem is
this show disbands, and I have to go find a real job, and the only thing I can find is I have to cuddle with random people. I would literally rather have to. I would rather be a clown at children's parties.
Mm-hmm. That's like I saw one of these on Wax today, the West Asheville Exchange. They, you just exchange ideas, and usually it's just, trash talking to people in the community. But sometimes you find interesting things on there. Like somebody posted today, hey, you know what this town needs? This town needs somebody who is going to sit down with you and either record or write out your last letter to your family. So we meet while you're alive, and then what we will do is, you pay me, and I will write this letter. We will write it together of all the things that you wanted to say to the people in your family while you were alive and maybe you were too afraid to. And I will show up at your funeral, and I will read the letter at your funeral.
Yeah, I need this person. Yeah, I need this person, and mine will be outrageously funny.
To me, this is the dumbest idea ever.
Oh, that's fantastic. I'm all the way in. I will call this person after the show. Because at my funeral, there will be the airing of grievances. We will have Frank Costanza on the big screen. I got a lot of problems with you people. And that guy just comes in and reads them.
Nice.
And everybody walks away from my funeral like, man, he was a jerk.
Right. I mean, I feel like that's a little much to put on people at your funeral. That might be something that's better reserved for later. I don't know. I mean, they're going to be distraught over you dying anyway, and especially if you show up on screen or there's a recording of your voice or there's just some strange dude up here airing all of your business in front of people, I'm out completely.
And this is the second time we've talked about my funeral in the last 2 weeks, and I still, if you missed it the first time, I want to dance. You know, I just
want to dance.
I just want to dance. You know, weekend at Bernie's, all in.
Yeah, look, we're just preparing for the inevitable. I get we're all going to die at some point, and if you feel like that, then go on Wax and find the post. I'm sure it's got 100 hilarious comments already. But to me, that just seems like the dumbest idea.
Oh, no,
who's going to pay that guy to do that? Okay, I stand corrected.
Me.
I
you know what?
Corrected.
I will use my last $8 to pay that guy, because when I'm paying him, I probably don't care what's in my bank account.
Speaking of dumb things, the unwritten rules in baseball are back in the news.
Baseball, I try so hard to give you the benefit of the doubt. And then you do things like yesterday. And it happened twice.
Mm-hmm. So the first one, the lesser of the evils, in my opinion anyway, who was it? It was the Padres and the Giants. They were playing yesterday, and the Giants got up to a 9-run lead in the second inning. And then in the sixth inning, apparently one of the players, he bunted. And oh my gosh, the San Diego Padres just lost their minds you can't bunt.
Why would you do
something
runs? That is allowed under the letter of the rules of our sport? That is not sportsmanly.
Like, and Gabe Kapler, a former Boston Red Sox, he is the manager of the San Francisco Giants, and he says, look, this is just part of the strategy, guys. Like, it's first game of the series. We want to get through as many pitchers as possible in the first games of the series so we get to the back end of their rotation, and then they have little options in their bullpen later in the series. So we're just trying to, get as many guys on base as possible. Is it a little, unsportsmanlike?
No, it's not. First of all, if you can get on base by bunting, you should do it every single time. There is virtually no way to boo-boo that unless you fall down. Oh, they were up by 2. Then maybe don't be down by so much. That you want me to cure that for you? Chris Farley. That's the narrative of our mock drafts. So let's ask.
Let me tell you why I suck.
Bingo. You want to not do that? Don't be down by 9 in the second inning. I feel like that's hard to do.
Some people see this as, bunting up by 9 runs in the sixth inning is a lot like a team being up by 30 and going for 2 after the touchdown. It's unsportsmanlike.
And don't care. Go for 2. If I could go for 3, I'd go for 3. Let's go.
To me, that was the lesser of the things that happened yesterday in baseball. The one that I still can't wrap my head around is why, Dave. I'm talking to Dave Roberts here, the manager of the Los Angeles Dodgers. I know you have. I know that you're concerned about the longevity of Clayton Kershaw, but when you have a pitcher that has thrown 80 pitches in a game, he's through 7 innings, and it's a perfect game. He struck out 13 batters. Why would you pull him from the game? I don't understand this even a little bit.
I want to tell a story.
Okay.
And this has been making its way around social media today. This story is of a man named Ray Caldwell. He was a pitcher for the Cleveland franchise, whose name at the time you can no longer use, from 1919 to 1921, so about 100 years ago. Do you know the story I'm going to tell?
No, I don't.
On August the 24th of 1919, he was struck by lightning in the ninth inning, which rendered him unconscious for 5 minutes. He finished the game! Clayton Kershaw hit 80 pitches, and I gotta go pee. It's like
I gotta go pee.
This is too much for me. I gotta just make sure my elbow's right.
He did not.
Hey, if you want to know the difference between then and now, first of all, we live drastically longer now than we used to.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe because of things like this. But that's the love of the game. That guy also pitched a no-hitter 17 days later. He got struck by lightning on a Monday.
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks from Thursday, he threw a no-hitter. And Clayton Kershaw gets to 80 pitches, and you're like, you know what? There's only been 24 of these in Major League Baseball history. We gotta tap out on this.
See, that's what I don't understand. There have been how many? 24 perfect games in baseball history, and you've got a guy dealing on the mound. 80 pitches in, 13 strikeouts. They can't handle his stuff.
Jonathan,
and the analytics guy and Dave Roberts goes, yeah, we're done. Come on.
Jonathan Welch said that guy also tapped out after 2 seasons. He may have died. Did you not hear the story? He got struck by lightning. You want to know what my problem with baseball is? It's this. You had the chance to steal the news cycle for the right reasons for a day.
Boom.
You wouldn't have had it for long because the draft is 2 weeks from today. But this was one of those sweet little, there's nothing really going on. We're still in the lying territory of the draft. Clayton Kershaw is 7 innings through a perfect game. You could have had a day. And what do you do? What do you do? So just think of the psychology of that. You're telling your fan base, you paid for the ticket, you came in, you did all of the things, you did everything right, and you could have seen a magical thing that you told your children one day. And all I care about is the next game. Do you really think that Pat Mahomes would be 5 yards away from the NFL record for passing yards, and Andy Reid would sit him down because, well, he's already thrown 37 passes today. I think we're going to play Chad Henne now.
Right. We got to worry about next week. So we're going to throw in the backup.
It's just a joke.
It's an absolute joke. And I have been the Dave Roberts defender and through all of this. And I'm not saying he needs to lose his job or anything, but if you're going to criticize him over anything, this is a good one to criticize him over. Not only would this have been a historic day in Major League Baseball, 220,000 games have been played in Major League Baseball, and only 24 of them have been perfect games.
Mm-hmm.
When you have the opportunity to seize that moment and give the fans something they've never seen before, you can't pull this mealy-mouthed crap of, Clayton, we've got a whole season left, and we just got to No! Grab the news cycle while you can. If it blows up in the 8th, who cares? He still threw a one-hit shutout or whatever.
Well, and this is just another iteration of baseball can't get out of its own way. Well, the analytics say the guys really shouldn't throw more than really. That's where you're going with this. The guy was 80 pitches in.
Well, he had only been. He's coming back from injury, and he had only thrown a simulated game of 75 pitches. Then
don't trot him out there.
No, they put him.
Don't trot him out there.
They put him on a pitch count before the game started, and said once he gets to 80, we're going to, or in the ballpark of 80, he's going to be done.
And you wonder why people look at your sport and go, "I absolutely do not care,"
yeah. Because
you have done nothing for the last 25 years, but tell me that every game of your season doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what you did here. Was it intentional? No. This is subconscious, and you've been doing it for years. And that's the reason that your sport is completely out of the news cycle the vast majority of the time.
Mm-hmm. Let's see what happened. Today, rather than people talking about, we had the 24th or the 25th or whatever perfect game in Major League Baseball history, today you've got sports shows like us all across the country talking about how stupid your sport is, how dumb Dave Roberts is for doing this, for taking the guy out of the game. And the other part of it to me was, Clayton Kershaw, he's obviously a professional, and after the game they asked him how he felt about it, and he was like, well, that's the manager's decision, whatever. I had a great day, and it was, I'm okay. But imagine what a confidence boost that would be for a guy in Clayton Kershaw who's one of the best pitchers of this era. But what a boost that would have been for him going into this season. All of the lumps that he's taken over, his inability to perform in the postseason and all of that. I know we've got 165 games or whatever left in the season. But you gotta grab history while it's right in front of you. You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. Heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. And that means Jeremy is going to be heard getting mad everywhere coming up next.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue due to an accident. 26 westbound crawling between Airport Road and Long Shoals Road. 26 eastbound stop and go between Long Shoals Road and Airport Road. 26 eastbound then crawling between Ozone Drive and US 74 exit 67. Haywood County 40 westbound stop and go between Fines Creek Road and Harmondin Road. Near Saluda, US 176 Spartanburg Highway near the Cabin Fever area, traffic stop and go both directions. Sweeten Creek Road northbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Hendersonville Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road slow. And again, Bavard Road northbound slow between Clayton Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Panera. There are so many words they could use to describe Panera's new Chef's Chicken sandwiches. But when you have a bite, you might just be left speechless. Panera, the familiar made fantastic. Enjoy a $1 delivery fee when you order on their app. Restrictions apply.
Hey, I'm Miles Gray.
And I'm Jack O'Brien, and we want to tell you about our new podcast,
Miles and Jack got Mad Boosties, an NBA podcast from iHeartRadio. This is a weekly podcast about all the amazing moments that keep NBA fans coming back for more.
Basically, if you love basketball and you like to laugh, listen to Miles and Jack Got Mad Boosties, an NBA podcast on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back to the quickest podcast ever, brought to you by Kohl's.
Today's topic, Easter style.
I love when everyone's dressed in their Easter best.
Then you need to check out the deals at Kohl's. I got 25% off the perfect floral dress, a new shirt for my husband for only $34.99, and got 25% off outfits the kids are going to look adorable in.
Cue the family photo op.
Exactly. Did I mention you can also get an extra 30, 20, or 15% off with your Kohl's card and earn Kohl's cash?
Looks like some bunny hunted down the savings.
Select styles, 30, 20, or 15% offer ends April 16th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Everyone loves shopping online. Well, I'm going to tell you what I tell my golf buddies when they buy clubs. Stop searching for coupon codes. Download Capital One Shopping to your computer. Capital One Shopping instantly searches for available coupon codes and automatically applies them at checkout. Plus, it's free, and you don't even need a Capital One card to use it. That's like hitting a hole-in-one without even trying. Capital One Shopping. It's kind of genius. What's in your wallet?
Savings and available coupons vary.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Thinking about gas mileage? Keep your engine at its best with clean oil from Pennzoil Platinum Full Synthetic. Got an older vehicle? Use Pennzoil Platinum Full Synthetic High Mileage. Right now, you can get 5 quarts with an STP Extended Life oil filter for only $35.99. Get what you need for better fuel efficiency at any of our 6,000 stores or on AutoZone.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Professional women's tennis is coming back to Harrah's Cherokee Center, Asheville, April 15th and 16th. Tickets are on sale now at USTA.com/BJKC. Get your tickets and see Team USA women's tennis in this exciting match, April 15th and 16th.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at RogueCombatClub.com.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Dirty Turkish back flat. I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore. Back flat.
Let the hate flow through you.
I told you earlier there was a problem in the NBA outside of the lack of frontline stars. It's fans behaving badly. We missed our show yesterday, so we didn't have the chance to talk about this. A fan during the Clippers-Timberwolves game, upset by the owner, decided to run on the floor and super glue her hand to the floor. Why do you think that's okay there? If you're mad at the Walton family and you go to Walmart, do you run in the back and duct tape yourself to a shelf holding leaf blowers? No! Why do you do this at sporting events? Do you think it helps your cause? No! We have absolutely no idea what your cause was! Stop doing stupid things at sporting events! I'm mad!
Yeah, it is pretty dumb. I will say this, though. A lot of us know more about the owner now because of this story. I will just say that. We do have to say congratulations because we have a champion. The most overrated bands bracket, it is Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band.
The one we had to shoehorn in and add his band to make him not a solo artist.
And this is why. This is why we did it, because we wanted to come up with this solution or this inevitability here. Bruce Springsteen over U2, 55% to 45%.
Should we play one shining moment now? I feel like we should.
No, it's not his one shining moment.
I may do that for Twitter, just so you know.
Oh, we could.
And TikTok.
We should do that.
Oh, that's good.
It's happening. Decided. It's happening. Or you could use the best song he ever did, which I will go to my grave saying, it was Santa Claus is Coming to Town. That's the best song Bruce Springsteen ever did.
Awful.
Awful?
Awful.
No, okay. All right. We'll
all
be back.
The mock drafts out on the YouTube channel.
That's right. Go to thesportsocracy.com. Just click on that live video link. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We'll see you back here tomorrow at 3.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Cold front coming on through Asheville tonight, although there's not a whole lot of rain with it. Most of the rain stays off to our west. Our temperatures in the upper 30s here tonight. We do get a little colder with northwest winds and lower humidity and a good Friday. Partly cloudy, a beautiful spring day for Friday. 66 our high tomorrow, low tomorrow night 48. And then some rain showers returning for Easter weekend. Saturday and Sunday highs in the 60s, lows in the 40s. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by COVIDclinic.org. This spring season, whether you're visiting family or headed to a festival, it's time for a COVID test. COVID Clinic offers quick and convenient same-day testing in your area. Visit COVIDclinic.org to find a location near you.
The Sportsocracy.
We're just dumping a bag of hammers.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.